This is a latest horror movie from 2025 called Butterfly Mansion, and it is based on a real haunted building incident from Taiwan, known as one of the most dangerous places where people have even died out of fear. So call your friends and get ready, because this story is truly terrifying. The story begins with a woman named Chen Wei, who is trying to escape from her abusive husband. She has very little money, so she has no choice but to move into a place called Butterfly Mansion, a building that is famous as a suicide hotspot. But from the very first day she moves in, strange and disturbing things start happening. For example, the building manager, Liang Bo, always politely knocks before entering rooms that have been empty for a long time. And when a new tenant moves in, he even lights a cigarette for the spirits, as if welcoming them. All these weird actions make Chen Wei feel very uncomfortable. But because of financial problems, she and her daughter have no choice but to stay there for now. One day, Chen Wei goes downstairs to do laundry. While she is there, she notices a locked room behind her. At first, she ignores it. But then an old tenant says something strange, which makes her feel that something is not right. Just as Chen Wei is about to ask why no one is allowed to stay on the 6th floor, a male guest suddenly appears. It turns out the old man is actually a massage worker from room 808. When a client calls her, she quickly leaves the laundry room. But what Chen Wei does not know is, late at night, when everything becomes quiet, that is when the spirits start wandering. A few days later, Chen Wei suddenly hears a strange noise outside her room. When she opens the door to check, the corridor is completely empty. The only thing she hears is a phone ringing somewhere nearby. For some reason, she feels drawn to it and picks up the call, but no one answers. Just as she hangs up, the phone rings again. This time, when she looks, she sees a woman with long hair answering the phone. Thinking that the call was not for her, Chen Wei simply goes back to her room, completely unaware that in the corner, her daughter is quietly playing with someone invisible. At the same time, somewhere outside, a little boy is catching butterflies. While he is carefully observing one, a woman in white suddenly jumps and commits suicide right in front of him. Before the boy can even react, the woman slowly stands back up and walks towards him. The boy calmly says, "Look, she is calling me." This boy, named AD, is an autistic child who has the ability to see spirits. His grandmother does not want him to be disturbed by ghosts, so she calls a master to perform a ritual. The master places a talisman inside a white cloth and covers Ade with it, so that his ghost-seeing ability becomes weaker and he sees fewer spirits. As for the woman in white that Ade saw, she is a restless spirit who died by suicide. Since her life was not meant to end yet, her soul is stuck in the same place, repeating the act of jumping again and again. The master warns AD to stay inside the house and not go outside unless it is absolutely necessary. But AD, who cares deeply for his grandmother, wants to help her. When he finds out that a new tenant has moved into the building, his grandmother, who runs a small shop, decides to send some water bottles to Chen Wei. AD takes the responsibility and goes to deliver them. But as soon as he enters Chen Wei's room, he sees something terrifying. A ghost of a little girl is standing inside the room. Even though AD is used to seeing ghosts, their presence still makes him uneasy. He quickly puts down the water and rushes out of the room. Later that night, when Chen Wei wakes up to drink water, she suddenly hears loud fighting noises coming from the room next door. Thinking that it is just a couple having a domestic argument, she ignores it and goes back to bed. But Chen Wei has no idea that at this very moment, a wet female ghost is lying right under her bed. Outside, the sound of crows echoes in the dark, as if something is silently watching. Downstairs, a man loudly sells meat porridge, just like any normal day. Everything looks ordinary, but somehow there is a strange and unsettling feeling in the air, and what makes it even more terrifying is what Ade says next. "Mom, wasn't the man selling crow meat porridge already crushed to death last time when someone jumped from the building?" His mother does not reply. She simply lowers her head and starts praying quietly. At the same time, Liang Bo also hears something unusual, but it feels like everyone here has already become used to these strange happenings. Thankfully, the night passes without any major incident. The next day, when Chen Wei goes out with her daughter for a walk, she notices a neighbor pushing a baby stroller. She smiles and says, "Your baby is so cute. If I find my child one day, I hope they look just like this." After saying this, the woman walks away with the stroller. But Chen Wei's daughter notices something strange. There is no baby inside the stroller. Chen Wei ignores it at first, but later, when she sees the couple again, she is shocked to notice that the woman's arms are covered in scars. At that moment, Chen Wei finally realizes the truth. The fighting sounds she hears every night are not normal arguments. They are the sounds of a husband abusing his wife. She starts wondering whether she should interfere or not. Suddenly, a cold wind blows past her. She turns around, but there is no one there. As she steps back, she suddenly feels something blocking her, as if someone invisible is standing behind her. Chen Wei is terrified. Just then, the elevator door opens, and she quickly rushes inside to escape. But in the very next moment, she wakes up. It was just a dream. But the words of the ghost still echo in her mind, sending chills down her spine. What was the ghost trying to tell her? To find out the truth, Chen Wei bends down and checks under the bed, but finds nothing unusual. However, suddenly, a rotten and bloody smell starts spreading in the room. Almost as if controlled by something, she slowly lifts the bedsheet, and what she sees shocks her completely. The bed is covered with bloodstains. Thinking about all the strange things that have been happening, Chen Wei immediately calls a priest to perform a ritual. But what she does not know is, that very night, Liang Bo witnesses something so horrifying that it shakes him to the core. At the same time, Chen Wei also notices something strange about her daughter's behavior. "Who are you talking to?" she asks. After sending her daughter back to the room, Chen Wei walks toward the wall to check something unusual she noticed earlier. She sees that the wallpaper is slightly peeling off. Curious, she slowly removes it, and behind it, she finds the wall completely filled with strange drawings and scribbles. She decides to ask Liang Bo about it, but when she reaches the management room, she only finds his granddaughter. She tells Chen Wei that her grandfather is in the hospital, so she is temporarily handling things here. Chen Wei explains everything and asks for help, but after checking, the girl casually says, "Maybe the previous tenant just drew all this randomly." Then she brings paint and starts covering the wall. But something strange happens. Every time she paints over the wall, the locked room nearby starts shaking violently, as if something inside is trying to break free. So what secret is hidden inside that locked room? And why is it sealed so tightly? Clearly, even Liang Bo's granddaughter has no idea. And as she finishes repairing the wall, as the wall repair gets completed, the protective talisman on the room is completely torn apart. That night, Chen Wei goes to find the old woman from room 808. She just wants to check on her. But when she reaches the room, she is shocked to see that the entire place has been sealed off. There is a warning sign that says, "Danger area, do not approach." Chen Wei assumes that the old woman has already moved away. As she turns to leave, suddenly a talisman on the elevator falls down. At first, Chen Wei does not notice anything strange. But the next moment, the elevator starts shaking violently, and somehow, she ends up on basement level -2. Outside, everything is completely dark. In the distance, she sees a woman in white standing still. The woman starts copying Chen Wei's movements, and then suddenly appears right behind her. After some time, Chen Wei regains consciousness. She realizes that the person who brought her back home is Xiao Liang. After thanking her, Chen Wei explains how she fainted on basement level -2, but Xiao Liang's expression suddenly changes, because this building does not even have a basement level -2. Chen Wei thinks maybe she was just too scared, and imagined it. Xiao Liang tells her to rest properly, and then leaves. But the moment she leaves, Chen Wei's daughter quietly follows her outside. It turns out, the friend who often plays with the little girl has been secretly luring her. Slowly, she walks toward the locked room. As soon as she steps inside, the lights start flickering, and the entire building begins to shake for no reason. At the same time, Chen Wei wakes up and realizes her daughter is missing. Panicking, she runs outside to search for her. Soon, she finds AD holding her daughter's hand in a suspicious way. Chen Wei angrily asks what he is doing. AD quickly explains that he saw her daughter alone in the corridor and got worried, so he brought her here. Chen Wei rushes to check on her daughter, but suddenly, the girl behaves as if she is possessed and violently pushes her mother away. Through his special vision, Adi can see that many spirits are surrounding the girl and causing all of this. He starts hitting his own head in panic, and the next moment, the girl suddenly vomits. People around say that she is possessed by an evil spirit. Chen Wei believes them and immediately calls a priest to perform an exorcism. After everything is done, Xiaoliang kindly helps them return home. But just when Chen Wei closes the door, Xiaoliang shows a strange and creepy smile. Does she also have some hidden secret? What does that smile really mean? The next day, the landlord goes door to door collecting rent. When he reaches one woman's house, she says she has no money. The landlord sits beside her and says in a creepy tone, "I am a flexible person. Rent does not always have to be paid with money. There are other ways too." Suddenly, a strange noise comes from the bathroom. The landlord assumes that the woman's husband is inside. He rushes in, demanding the rent. But as soon as he opens the door, he sees something horrifying. Inside the bathtub lies the dead body of the woman. When he turns back, the woman behind him has already turned into a ghost. The truth is, she was already dead. She was beaten to death by her husband, after their child went missing. Later, the husband also met a tragic end. Now, both of them are trapped in this building, wandering endlessly because of their obsession and pain of losing their child. After committing these crimes, the husband had even gone to the police station, pretending to be innocent, and asking the police to help him find his missing wife and daughter. But when the husband goes to the police station, the officer directly refuses to help him. After all, they think it is just a family matter, and no one wants to get involved. The husband feels frustrated after being rejected. He steps outside to relax, but then realizes his lighter is missing, so he stops a young man nearby to borrow one, and suddenly notices something shocking. The young man is wearing his daughter's bracelet. That young man is none other than Xiao Liang. The bracelet was actually given to him by Xia to thank him for taking care of her mother, but unknowingly, this becomes a clue for the husband. He starts following Xiao Liang all the way back to the mansion. Then he begins searching every door, every room, until finally he finds Chen Wei's house. Without wasting a second, he rushes inside and immediately punches Chen Wei. Then he starts looking everywhere for his daughter. Luckily, Xia has already been taken away by Xiao Liang, and at the last moment, he even saves Chen Wei from the husband. After that, Xiao Liang takes Xia to his own room, but when Chen Wei later reaches there, she notices something strange. The room is extremely messy and disturbing, completely different from Xiao Liang's normal personality. While she is confused, she suddenly turns around and sees Xia entering a red-colored room. Without thinking, Chen Wei follows her inside, but the moment she enters, she is horrified. The entire room is filled with photos of abused children. Seeing this, Chen Wei is completely shaken. She immediately tries to protect her daughter, and at that moment, Xiao Liang finally reveals the truth. He is a dangerous psychopath, a child predator. He specifically targets children. Any child he chooses never escapes from him. He tortures them in different ways, then brutally kills them. And after that, he traps their spirits inside that locked room. The reason he was helping Chen Wei and her daughter was because he had already set his eyes on Xia. He was planning to make her his next victim. And the truth about Xiao Liang is even darker. He is not actually Liang Bo's real grandson. He was just a child that Liang Bo picked up from outside. Even though Liang Bo raised him, he himself was a violent man. He used to abuse Xiao Liang daily, treating him like a punching bag. But as Xiao Liang grew up, he became even more dangerous and twisted than him. And the terrifying figure that Liang Bo once saw was not a ghost at all. It was Xiao Liang himself. Now, the truth is finally revealed. Chen Wei tries to save her daughter, but Xiao Liang knocks her unconscious. Then he throws her into the water tank on the rooftop and walks away without looking back. Luckily, after some time, Chen Wei regains consciousness, and what she sees next is horrifying. Dead bodies floating inside the water tank. It turns out, after killing his victims, Xiao Liang hides their bodies here as Chen Wei desperately tries to escape. She feels countless hands grabbing her, pulling her down. After a long struggle, she somehow manages to get out, but now, completely exhausted, she collapses in a corner, waiting helplessly for death. But suddenly, the water tank crashes down, and all the dead bodies spill out. Barely surviving, Chen Wei immediately runs to find her daughter, and just as she feared, at this very moment, Xia has already been targeted by Xiao Liang. Just when Xiao Liang slowly moves closer to Xia, suddenly, the locked door behind him bursts open. All the spirits that he had trapped inside finally break free. One by one, they stretch out their hands and attack him with full rage. This time, it is revenge. In the end, Xiao Liang is dragged away by the spirits and pulled straight into hell. Meanwhile, Chen Wei finally finds her daughter, but just when they are about to escape, a cold, terrifying wind starts blowing all around them. The spirits are trying to kill every living person so they can finally be reborn. Chen Wei tightly holds her daughter's hand, and after a few moments, everything becomes silent again. But before she can feel relieved, she realizes that her daughter is gone. Panicking, she starts calling her name again and again, and then countless spirits begin walking toward her. Chen Wei stands there helplessly, not knowing what to do. Just then, she hears her daughter's voice. Without wasting a second, she grabs her and rushes into the elevator. She believes that once the elevator closes, they will finally be safe. But she is wrong. The spirits were never going to let them escape. Because for a spirit to be reborn, it needs a replacement, a living person, to take its place. And that is why the trapped spirits in this building keep targeting the tenants. Just when everything seems lost, Ade suddenly appears. At the last moment, he manages to pull Xia out and save her, but Chen Wei gets left behind inside the elevator. In her final moments, she looks at her daughter one last time. Her eyes are filled with guilt. helplessness, and deep love. Guilt, because her daughter deserved a happy childhood, but instead had to live in a cheap, haunted place. Helplessness, because she saw a chance to escape, but could not reach it. And most of all, pain. Pain of leaving her daughter alone in this world, because the moment she lets go, her daughter loses her only support forever. And with that, her story ends. That's it for today's story. See you in the next